Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, March 2nd, 2017. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. Local authorities here are said to be cooperating with the U.S. Coast Guard authorities in relation to a recent high-seas drug bust of some $71.7 million worth of cocaine found on a ship registered to St. Vincent and the Grenadines with 4 Guyanese nationals on board. The shipping vessel Lady Michelle was reportedly nabbed by the U.S. Coast Guard some 70 nautical miles north of Suriname on February 17th. Reports are that this is a route usually used by drug traffickers who transport South American cocaine to the Caribbean, United States, and other countries. The crewmen were reportedly taken to the U.S. Virgin Islands, where they are being held without bail. They reportedly told members of the U.S. Coast Guard that they had been searching for a missing vessel. SVG-TV News contacted Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Godfred Pompey, on the issue of the drug haul and matters pertaining to vessel registration. PS Pompey admitted that this is a concern for most countries and that the local authorities are in communication with the U.S. Coast Guard on the matter. He also pointed out that what is interesting is that while the Lady Michelle vessel has been registered as belonging to SVG, it had only Guyanese crew members.
An ongoing problem not only for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but any country with a large ship registry at St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because if you would have followed the U.S. Coast Guard interdiction over the years, hardly any major problem with St. Vincent registered vessels. So it's an ongoing issue for any ship registry. And on the 17th of February, the U.S. Coast Guard advised us of the seizure of Lady Michelle with a quantity of contraband on board. But it is important to note that the 4 occupants of the vessel were non-Vincentian nationals.
As it relates to security matters surrounding the Argyle International Airport, PS Pompey pointed out that several aviation security officers are in training to meet the required international operations of an air facility. PS Pompey also announced that members of the United States-based Transport Security Administration, or TSA, will arrive here later this month to conduct an audit of the airport to ensure its compliance with international standards.
A new batch of aviation security officers are in training at the Argyle International Airport in order to beef up the security there. And sometime during the course of March this month, we expect a visit from the TSA, that's the U.S. security force there, to do an audit of our airport. So we are trying to keep on top of things and ensure that we are compliant in readiness for international flights or direct flights from St. Vincent to U.S. territories. So this is one of the requirements that we will be undertaking soon.
A call has been made for the few persons whose vehicles are not in compliance with the laws of SVG to ensure that they get in line with the rules and regulations. The advice comes from Sergeant Henry Providence as he gave SVG-TV News an update on the successes and challenges of 2 areas of concern, that of illegal license plates and extra lighted lamps on vehicles. Speaking on the issue of license plates, Sergeant Providence said that there has been a high degree of compliance from the public and that the department is challenging itself to achieve more in regards to compliance of the law on this matter.
Earlier this year, 2017, the Traffic Department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, we started a campaign where we were clamping down on illegal number plate. Firstly, when the whole issue was brought to the fore in regards to registration plate, there was a lot of scamping from some persons in regards to the number plate. However, we are very satisfied at present as to the compliance rate. We have roughly about 80 to 85% of compliance in regards to the whole issue of the registration plate. We are still not satisfied, though, to some extent, that there's still a small minority of persons out there who are not in compliance with the regulation as it stipulates in the Traffic Act. That has to do with the whole issue of lettering and sizing of number plates. So we are appealing to those persons, that very small minority who are still not in compliance with the Act, to do so.
Sergeant Providence thanked motorists for their cooperation in ensuring that their license plates are in line with the law.
The number plate, as I indicated, high level of compliance from the general public, and we want to thank the general public on a whole for giving us the support. We recognize a number of persons has come to the department or called the department when this whole issue came out in regards to the registration plate on vehicles, and they have come, they have called to ensure that they were in keeping with the regulation. I want to thank them very much for the support they have given us thus far, and in the same time we want to appeal to those persons once again who are not in compliance to do so, because once you're caught, the police will prosecute.
Speaking on the issue of lighted lamps, Sergeant Providence said it is an ongoing exercise and they're hoping to get the fullest support from all motorists.
We started last week Friday with the whole issue of lights on motor vehicles or the lighted lamps. We're going to continue this week, and thus far a number of persons also have been prosecuted for this offense. As a matter of fact, last Friday we think there were about almost 50 persons who were prosecuted for using other lighted lamps on your vehicles. And once again we want to appeal to the public to be in compliance, full compliance of the law. The department is not the one who enforce these laws, but we have to enforce them. Once they're still on our books, we have to enforce them, and that is what we're going to do, all well within the framework of the law. Where the law will give us the authority to act, we're going to act.
Reiterating the point that persons wishing to use extra lighted lamps on their vehicles must apply to the police commissioner in writing, the traffic cop explained the procedure, which entails an inspection of the vehicle.
An inspection may be done in your vehicle to see the lights that you're referring to, and so forth and so forth. Once the commissioner is satisfied that your grounds is a valid one, then he can go ahead and grant the approval to you to use those lights. If he, in the same sense, does not think that your application warranted him giving an approval, then he can also deny you approval for use of those lights. So thus far we have had some reports in regards to persons writing after the Commissioner of Police seeking approval for these lights, and I want persons to understand that the Act speaks clearly what is required, and we want persons to apply to do so and save yourself some finance in the court.
Police are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of 35-year-old Philon Gordon, whose decomposed body was found in the Johnson Mountain area yesterday, Wednesday, March 1st. According to reports, calls were made to the police at around 11:30 p.m. about the decomposing body. When officers responded to the scene, they found Gordon's body in the vicinity near to a hut where he was dwelling in the Johnson Mountain. He was found in multicolored short pants. A post-mortem is expected to be carried out on the body soon. Leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, Dr. Godwin Friday, has expressed concern about what he termed as a state of political divisiveness in this country. At a media conference on Wednesday, Dr. Friday asserted that many of the actions of the ULP administration have been petty, divisive, and bitter, which he said causes further political division in the country.
Using the largesse of the state to fatten its most loyal supporters, while the rest of the people get only the crumbs that fall from their corrupt tables. I believe we can do better than we are doing now. However, our priority must be the people. Put another way, government must always put our people first. All the people. That is why we continue to call not just our traditional supporters, but people who have grown disenchanted with the culture of divisive politics that has developed under the ULP, and those people yearn for a better day when we all come together to build our country as one people, one nation, one Vinci.
Dr. Friday underlined the importance of formulating projects that bring returns to the people of SVG. He said a climate where entrepreneurs thrive and young people utilize their skills to gain income must be created.
This involves, first and foremost, providing jobs, especially for our young people, those who are trying to get a foothold and to start their careers. It means creating a business climate that fosters entrepreneurship and investment and rewards both, irrespective of political coloration. It means giving farmers the support they need so that they will feel confident to cultivate their lands again. In short, it means putting the country back to work in rebuilding our economy. In so doing, we can transform St. Vincent and the Grenadines into one of the most prosperous countries in the Caribbean.
The Fisheries Division has taken another step in aiding in the sustainability and conservation of sea turtles here. The department is now engaged in a public consultation campaign geared toward sensitizing the public on the need to ensure the conservation of the nation's marine life, particularly turtles. Fisheries Officer Nyasha Antrobus noted that the sea turtle ban, which took effect on January 1st of this year, was a timely one and expressed confidence that the ban, along with stakeholders' participation, would go a long way in aiding the department in achieving the goal of conservation of sea turtles.
All four are listed as either threatened or endangered. So this ban can only be timely if we want to ensure the sustainability of these spectacular creatures. The Fisheries Division will embark on a conservation awareness program, and we will solicit the help and support of other ministries, other stakeholders such as the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority, the SVG Preservation Fund, other ministries, the police department, schools, community groups, our fishers and students. We will embark on heightening awareness, and we will use, as seen on display here, these are just some of the paraphernalia that would be used to build awareness on the importance and the urgency in protecting and preserving our sea creatures. So we have rulers, stickers, posters, flyers.
Antrobus also expressed hope that the Vincentian public would also play a role in the conservation program.
Our hope here at the Fisheries Division that all Vincentians would get on board. They would abide by this regulation, because scientists have found sea turtle fossils dating back as far back as 150 million years, and this is just how long these creatures have existed. So if we want to ensure that they remain in existence for generations to come, then we ought to act now.
While encouraging graduates to constantly improve themselves by upgrading their skills, head of the University of the West Indies Open Campus St. Vincent, Deborah Dalrymple, said major improvements will soon take place at the learning facility here. Dalrymple, who was recently addressing graduates at a ceremony held at the Methodist Church Hall, said the renovation work will commence as early as March. She said there will be state-of-the-art facilities as well as a recreational room for persons who attend on site after classes.
The St. Vincent site is slated for major renovations and expansion of the physical plant, and we should see work commencing as early as next month. This will prove to be a vast improvement in service delivery. The new building will provide for expanded classrooms, library, computer laboratory, video conferencing and office space. The facility would boast student-friendly spaces such as a student lounge and recreational and study area for the children, who very often have to accompany their parents to the site. Even as you savor your achievements, graduates, I urge you not to settle into inertia, but to think ahead as to where you can make your contribution to the development of your country.
As it prepares to celebrate 50 years of unbroken participation in the Steel Pan Arena, the Starlift Steel Orchestra is looking forward to making its mark on Vincy Mass 2017. At a media conference held on Tuesday, Captain of the orchestra Roddy Dowers explained that along with preparing renditions for the 50th anniversary festivities, work has already begun in preparing the junior and senior band for this year's Panorama competition. He said the band is also expected to collaborate with the diaspora group SVG Connect to form a Juve band.
We would be entering the junior panorama competition again. We are actually looking to get the, I don't know what you call it, we have the beaver trick now, so I don't know what they call the other one if we make it 5 in a row, but we'll be aiming for that. The senior, we'll also be entering the senior panorama competition this year, and during this carnival period, we'll be also joining with one of our friends from New York, SVG Connect, and we'll be having a Juve band joining with them, and it's going to be called the Graduates Class of 1967. All right, it's going to be very special, it's going to be big. We're going to be joining with our friends in New York and all our friends in St. Vincent, and we're going to be having a grand time. You'll be hearing much more about this as time goes on.
Highlighting that the band holds the record for having the most panorama successes, Starlift's musical director Kingsley Hero Roberts said it is the band's intention to live up to its reputation for 2017 and beyond.
Starlift have won 20 up-to-date panorama.
Senior panorama,
sorry. Make us the winningest steel band, not just locally, regionally, but internationally. So I just want to state that. The juniors, I haven't checked, to be truthful, other islands that have junior panorama, but if we are not there, also we are very close. We won 10 junior panorama. I think the band that is cheering us, not 10, I know the band that is cheering us won 6 panorama. So we are way ahead still.
Manager of Starlift, Errol Sutherland, while outlining that the band, along with the participation of other steel orchestras, aims to host a series of island-wide concerts, noted that persons can look forward to the re-emergence of Starlift in the Monday evening street jam activities.
Monday morning and Monday afternoon. Walton Canny Peters, you had Spitter, which is Simeon and Chovas, you had Gideon Sachs, the silver, you had Paddy Hugh Williams, and you had Teddy Johnson, those 5 men. So on that set day, there's a Jubilee morning along, we want to have their picture up, dancing and jumping along the back. So that's a Jubilee morning. We also will be on the road on Monday afternoon. Now, once upon a time, Starlift had controlled the road on Monday afternoon. But we have lost that. But we are going to make an effort, or at least we are coming back, because we are already in agreement with a company that is going to do part of sponsorship. We are going to be back on the road on Monday afternoon.